Welcome in to Seahawks Today Live. Tyler Jones here with you. Happy to have you with us here on this Wednesday afternoon happy hour here on the channel. Thanks for spending it with us. Coming up on today's show, we are talking about the possibility of trading for Chase Young. Could he be on his way to Seattle? Also, have some cut candidates that we'll get to that the Seahawks could potentially move on from. And the 2023 schedule for the Seahawks will be released tomorrow. We already know the opponents, but who ultimately will they face when they face? We'll talk about that coming up later and get some speculation on that coming up. And also we'll do a live Q&A Rumors mailbag as well. Send in your questions using hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat. That'll get you to the front of the line. As we get started today, I want you to shout out your city. Tell us where you are watching from. That is the easiest way to get involved and interact with the show. I'm looking at the chat box right now. I'm going to shout out everybody on air and where they're watching from if they tell me in the comments section. So easiest way to get involved and show some love on the show, just tell us where you're watching from today, and we would love to hear from you. Myself, Big Tex, here with you on this Wednesday. We're coming at you from the Chat Sports Studios here in beautiful downtown Dallas, Texas, here on this Wednesday. Let us know where you guys are at, and we'd love to hear from you here on this live edition of Seahawks Today. Check the chat box right now. Tacoma representing well so far with Gino says good luck from Tacoma. I got FB Dre checking in from Tacoma as well. Got David in Little Rock, Arkansas. I was in Little Rock not too long ago, around December. I spent a couple days in Memphis and I made a little stoppage in Little Rock, Arkansas. I got M3TCA1F Proud. That's a lot of numbers and letters there. Checking in from Ann Arbor, Michigan. And you look at the Seahawks roster, what they did in the draft, there's a lot of Michigan connections now on this Seahawks team. The Michigan Seahawks, I believe, is that what they're calling them. Ruben checking in from Dallas, Texas. Ruben, glad to see that you're here. Welcome, neighbor. Hope you're having a good day as I crack open this Coors Light. I got Pablo in South Carolina. Pablo, always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here. And continue to shout out your city. Let us know where you guys are at here on this live edition of Seahawks Today. I got Scott in Astoria, Illinois. Thanks for being here, Scott. With knowing that we have an idea what the matchups are, but we don't necessarily know the times and dates of these games, what game are you most excited for this season? Tell us in the comments section which matchup you're looking forward to. And Big Tex hanging out with me today. Big Tex, I got to tell you, what comes to mind as far as the schedule goes, last year, it seemed real obvious. Everybody said the same thing. The Broncos game with Russell Wilson coming back to Seattle week 1. That was the obvious answer from everybody. But this year, it doesn't seem like there's necessarily an obvious answer of what the best game would be. But I'll throw you out there one. I know Bobby Wagner only spent 1 year with the LA Rams, but I'm excited to see Bobby go to Los Angeles in a Seahawks uniform after just spending a year there. To me, that's what I'm intrigued about. Divisional game as well. I also think the Niners and the Seahawks are two of the best teams in the NFC this year, not just the division itself. Last year, all 3 games were, they felt big, especially the last 2. I think that, these games against the Niners are going to have, national implications. It's going to feel like a big-time game for each of those Niner games. So those are the ones that come to mind for me, Tex, is those divisional games. Yeah. Let's see. What else we got in the chat checking in? We got Robert in Dothan, Alabama. Thanks for being here, Robert. Okay. Cool. Let's see. What else we got in the chat? I got Pablo says defensive squad. Let's see. Also, Lions almost a rivalry starting. I don't know about that. I don't know why the Lions would be a rivalry of sorts. The Seahawks beat them last year, and the Lions helped the Seahawks get into the playoffs ultimately with winning that game against the Green Bay Packers. So maybe I'm missing something there, but I don't know why that game would necessarily be called a rivalry. What game are you looking forward to? Tell us in the comment section. Tyson says, I hope we play the Eagles to see how we stack up. Well, I can tell you this. Good news for you, Tyson. The Seahawks play the Eagles this year in Seattle. So that game will happen. We'll have more on that later. Aaron checking in from Stanwood, Washington. Thanks for being here, Aaron. Appreciate it. Now we're facing each other. Hello, Tex. Now it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Next question here. Who is your favorite new addition to the Seahawks this year? Between who they added in free agency, trades they made, draft, and all that, who is your favorite new Seahawk in 2023? Let us know in the comments section. By the way, Gino Him says his favorite game is the Bengals game. We will see the Seahawks play the Bengals on the road this year. Let's see. What do we think, guys? Who's been your favorite addition? For me, it's Jackson Smith and Jigba. To me, to see what he's going to do for this offense in his future, I think, as the best receiver in this draft, that's an easy go for me. I think that he's going to be a very good player for a long time. AFX Apocalypse, Drew Lock's not new to the roster. He's not a new addition. He's not going to be starting, but nice try. Gino says Draymond Jones or JSN. Scott says Witherspoon. Nihad says Olu. That's a good choice, too, with Olu. How about you, Tex? Who's your favorite new addition to the Seahawks? There we go. Turn your mic on.
There we go. Definitely Jason.
Yep.
I know that he was picked later than Devin Witherspoon, so you could be like, well, Devin's going to be potentially a higher upside, but I keep thinking about that Rose Bowl game, man. He dominated Utah, right? It was Utah.
Yeah.
Just absolutely a stud. I think that if you combine him, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett, that's arguably the best or a top 3 wide receiver core in the NFL going into the 2023 season.
Yeah. Aaron says JSN. Let's see. It's your boy, says Devin Witherspoon. Todd says Bobby Wagner. Kid says greetings from Germany. Welcome. What's hello in German? Do you know that, Tex?
The Guten Tag?
Guten Tag. Guten Tag to you. Tex knows a little bit of German.
Tiny bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Let's see. So Bobby Wagner, JSN, Witherspoon. Okay, so we got a few different answers here. We'll do a mailbag coming up later. Use the hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on the said mailbag. And basically what happens when we do the mailbag, Big Tex here, he's got to sort through all the questions and figure out which ones to put on screen. But the only way we can put those on screen is if you Super Chat us or use the hashtag Seahawks. You just click the $ below the chat box, and that is how you can Super Chat. Super Chats get priority. They get on the mailbag first. Use the hashtag Seahawks for your chance to also get a question in. We'll show your avatar. We'll show your username and all that. We'll get you on screen. So be a part of our mailbag that we'll be getting to later on. Let's go to the Super Chat menu, shall we?
I got you.
Super Chat menu back after a week off last week. And we want you guys to party and have a good time with us. It's happy hour here on Seahawks today. It's still the middle of the afternoon in Seattle on the West Coast. And so we want to enjoy ourselves, have a little bit of happy hour. I see a Super Chat already coming in. We'll get to that here in just a second. Don't worry. But here's what we're offering today. Any Super Chat gets you a shout-out. We'll throw you on screen, show you some love. $2, you can ask me or Big Tex anything. You can ask us a football question. You can ask us about our personal lives. You can find out if Tex is single or not. He'll tell you all that information. $2, you can ask us anything. $5, we'll sing the DK song. $10, we'll take a shot. I do have some Fireball in hand ready to go. And then for every $200 that comes in, we will do a boot, which is 3 beers in one. We will try to drink it as fast as humanly possible. $200 collectively. Then we'll take down Das Boot is what it'll take to get there. $100, and you get a spot in the Boot Hall of Fame. We'll induct you in everything. Where do my Hall of Fame stickers go? I thought I had those in here. Oh, there they are. They're on the floor. They fell down.
I got you.
We'll do Hall of Fame inductions. If you send in $100 Super Chat, you get a spot, and we'll give you a Hall of Fame induction And so every time we drink the boot, there we go. There's my Hall of Fame badges. Every time we drink the boot, then you'll be with us as we consume this with all the other 12. So this is your opportunity to go down in Seahawks glory and be one of the greatest 12s of all time. This is a boot for the 12s. $100, you get a spot in the Boot Hall of Fame, and you will be there forever and ever. Amen. All right. First super chat of the day comes from M3TCA1FPROD. That's a lot. Draymond Jones is the favorite addition to the Seahawks here. He will make a great addition to the weak D-line, and he will bring pressure to the QB. I love Draymond Jones. I'm excited to see what he's going to bring to the Seattle Seahawks. I think he was a very fantastic addition and is going to do a lot for this Seahawks team. I think it was a great signing. $5 super chat. That means we got to sing the DK song. So, Texer, let's. It's been a while since we've done the DK song, but without further ado, here we go. Chomping, carols chomping. Geno passes, no one stopping. DK. Touchdowns all day. He rules. If you've never heard the DK song before, tell us in the chat what you think that was based off of. Texer, we are at 83 people watching right now. We got 14 likes. I know for a matter of fact we can do better than that. Tex, what do we need to get to, you think, to officially start today's show? I would like if at least half the audience liked today's video. I think if we get to, let's say, 40 likes, then we can officially start this show. And to make it add a little extra incentive, I will take a shot of Fireball when we reach 40 likes so we can officially start the show. So let's get those likes up there. And Texer, we got a big show on deck coming up here. As you guys like the video and we count us down to get to 40 likes, here's what's coming up on today's show. We will begin with the Seahawks news and rumors as we catch up to speed what's happening with your favorite team. Talking about Chase Young coming up in just a few moments. Also, we will do a live Q&A rumors mailbag. Send in your questions using the hashtag Seahawks or super chatting. You'll get to the front line for our mailbag that we'll be bringing to you in our second segment. Then we will wrap up today's show looking at cut candidates. Who will the Seahawks potentially move on from? We will discuss that and more coming up in just a matter of moments. So that is what's on tap. Go ahead, Tex. Okay, yeah, we'll get to that super chat here in just a second. But that's what's on deck. 40 likes, and we will start the show. I need 13 more likes to officially get this thing going. And then we can get into the business of the day. In the meantime, Pablo with a $5 super chat. Hello, Pablo. Says, Devin Witherspoon, Tariq Woolen, how many interceptions will they have together? Let's go Seahawks. I love my Seahawks. So let's throw a number out there. Tariq Woolen had 6 picks last year. I think that'd be crazy if he had 6 again. It's not impossible, but it's a very high number to reach. Let's say 4 to keep it safe. Devin Witherspoon, I think that, he had, 2 or 3 last year at Illinois. Let's throw that number again. I think they can combine for 6, 7, 8 picks, somewhere around that range. I think you could be talking about that, of those two being a very dynamic duo there on that front. Ruthless Raccoon, Geno Smith was the comeback player of the year. He was a Pro Bowler. Geno is that guy. Geno is that dude. I have no issues, no problems with Geno Smith right now. So, Ruthless Raccoon, there's a reason why you're a raccoon. Nobody wants to hang around raccoons. But thanks for being here. Let's see. Booked L15, what the hell are you talking about? I don't make up anything around here, okay? You can be a hater. Come at me all you want. But, you're just absolutely wrong about that. Our rumors, all that stuff that we bring you here, we cite every source everything comes from. So, and what of the Seahawks moves this offseason, Draymond Jones, we told you was a very strong possibility when it happened. Bobby Wagner, we told you was a very strong possibility when it happened. We've been on it here. If you've been following this show and watching Seahawks today all offseason long, then the moves that the Seahawks have made, nothing should surprise you. We've been on top of it all offseason. So booked L15, you're a fraud. You don't know what you're talking about. The rest of the 12s, you guys are fantastic. You guys make this show happen, and we do it for you. And we love it, and we have a great time. You guys are certainly worth it. So that's the Super Chat menu. I am 6 likes away from officially starting this thing. Got 91 people watching right now. So I need just less than half the audience to like the show. Then we can officially get this thing going here. Jose says I should ban him. What do you guys think? Should I ban booked L15? I don't know. I'm feeling generous. I'm feeling kind. We'll give him another chance and see if he actually brings the receipts instead of his just straight up garbage. If you want me to ban him though, spam the chat and I'll consider it. But I'm feeling generous right now to book L15, who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, but you know what? We're still enjoying ourselves here. After that rant, I don't know how you couldn't like the video there. I mean, we keep it 100. We keep it real here on Seahawks Today. I don't lay down for nobody. We just tell it like it is around here. I mean, Tex, that's how we roll. We keep it real. We don't back down to nobody. We reached 40 likes, so I will take a shot. And then, Tex, we will get started with today's show. Let's have ourselves a day. 12s, I'm fired up. Schedule's coming out tomorrow. We'll be all over it tomorrow, so look forward to that. Specific Northwest says, give him the chance to prove his point. We're cool in the Northwest, remember. Hey, that's what I'm saying. I feel like giving mercy. So we'll go to this Super Chat, then we'll start the show here. Cheers, everybody. Samuel says we don't need another edge player. Don't ban people for their opinions. Hey, you know what? I'm not saying for their opinions, just not the hate. Just don't come in hating here, like we're trying to have fun, trying to have a good time. Past, thanks for being here. $5 Super Chat. We got to sing the DK song for that. Past says, and actually we got to sing it twice, I believe, because we didn't sing the last time. Just stopping by, brother. Can't wait for Walker Year 2. Keep up the great work. #RealOne, #ChatSports. Past, thank you. You are a real one. Thanks for the love and being a part of the show today and supporting us. We certainly appreciate it. Chopping carols, chopping Gino, passes, no one stopping. DK, touchdowns all day. Heroes, Tex, your turn.
Chomping carols, chomping Geno Smith.
Passes,
no one stopping.
DK, touchdowns all day. Heroes. Shane says no more DK song. Shane, you can pay us to stop singing the DK song. That can work that way too. Let's see. Doorhinge B says throw up a like. Thank you, Doorhinge B. Thanks for the love there. Want to get it started. Been a subscriber since for over a year. Go Hawks. This offseason was a W. Very cool. Thanks for the support. Anything helps. Even if you can't super chat, whatever. It's just liking the video, commenting. All of that helps, and we certainly appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get started with the news and rumors here on this Wednesday afternoon here on this live edition of Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Welcome in, Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, we have the latest Seattle Seahawks news and rumors as we'll be discussing the possibility of trading for Chase Young. Also, the Seahawks have added a national champion winning linebacker. We'll tell you who that is. And also look ahead to the NFL's schedule release. Show you who the Seahawks opponents are. We'll get to that coming up at the end of today's show. Before we do, folks, we are growing so quick here on Seahawks Today. It has been an incredible run over the last couple of weeks. And we're on the verge of 38,000 subscribers here on the channel, about 430 away, but we need your help to get there. Subscribe now for the latest happenings on your favorite team. We're talking news and rumors. We're going to be all over rookie minicamp and OTAs and training camp and all that stuff here on the channel. We got you covered. We do our live shows every week as well. And we will have coverage of the Seahawks schedule release coming up on Thursday. if the schedule comes out early, if it gets leaked, we are going to get a video out as quickly as we can. If it doesn't get leaked, then we'll wait like everybody else does. But whenever we get word of this schedule, we're going to cover it for you here on the channel. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/Seahawks TV for more Seahawks coverage. Trade for Chase Young. Bleacher Report has suggested that the Seahawks could make a trade for the Washington Commanders edge rusher. Remember, Chase Young was the number 2 overall pick just a couple of years ago, and we saw that he had a fantastic rookie season, but ever since then, he's been dealing with injuries and hasn't been available. Now, the Seahawks have added some young edge rushers over the last couple of years, no pun intended. But could Chase Young join the equation? Does it make sense for Seattle to go that route? Well, here's more from Alex K. Bleacher Report. The Seattle Seahawks were a popular candidate in mock drafts to address their edge rushing needs with at least one of their 2 first-round picks this year. Well, they ultimately decided against securing a pass rusher until day 2 when they selected Derek Hall at number 37 overall. The team still needs another good edge defender to push them over the top. Chase Young could be the ideal trade candidate for Seattle after the Washington Commanders declined to pick up his 5th-year option. The number 2 overall pick in 2020 entered the league red hot, earning Defensive Rookie of the Year honors after collecting 7.5 sacks, but has since had his career derailed by a devastating knee injury that cost him nearly half of the 2021 campaign and all but 3 games in 2022. So there's the idea from Alex K. This is the trade idea that Bleacher Report proposed in this same article. The Seahawks get Chase Young, and they give up a 2024 second-round pick, and then in 2025, a conditional second-round pick, depending on playing time and all of that. I'll give you my opinion on this and share some numbers with you on Chase Young here in just a second. But knowing what you know of this potential trade offer, what do you think? Should the Seahawks trade for Chase Young? Tell me in the comment section. This is our pinned comment today. You might get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it. Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Let us know what you think. Y for yes, in for no, if the Seahawks should trade for Chase Young or not. Now, in that scenario that was presented, I would trade for Chase Young in a heartbeat. I think that'd be a bargain deal for a guy that just a couple years ago was the number 2 overall pick. And I think this Seahawks defense, as is on paper, looks much improved from what it was in 2022. You add Chase Young to the fold, and all of a sudden you're looking at Seattle going over the top, being one of the elite defenses in the NFL if you were to make a move like that. You're getting, when he's healthy, probably one of the best defensive players in the entire league. And you're not giving up a first-round pick for it, for a guy that was the number 2 overall player. Sign me up. Speaking of Chase Young, here's more about him. That 2020 season, not only was he a Pro Bowler, but he was also the Defensive Rookie of the Year that year. He's played in just 12 games in the last 2 seasons, so availability has been questionable, but you can't deny the talent level that Chase Young brings as the number 2 pick. The stats from Chase Young, let's show you the numbers of what he's done the last few seasons. His rookie year, played in 15 games, had 44 tackles, 8 sacks, 4 tackles for loss. Then in 2021, played in 9 games, had 26 tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 tackles for loss. And then last year, in the 3 games he played, he had 5 tackles, did not have any sacks, and no forced fumbles there. So, what do you think? Name a player the Seahawks should trade for, whether it's Chase Young or somebody else out there. Who would you like to see the Seahawks make a potential move for to add to this roster for 2023? Let us know in the comments section below. Hey, Seahawks fans, you definitely want to check out our hats and beanies that are on sale now for up to 30% off while supplies last. Whether you're feeling the throwback scheme, maybe you want to get a beanie to save for the wintertime for next year. Maybe you like the camo style. Whatever it may be, we have all different types of hats and beanies in all different types of shapes and sizes and color schemes for you. A wide variety, great selection available now at chatsports.com/Seahawks hats. Get yours today. Wall supplies last. It's a great deal, only for a limited time. Chatsports.com/Seahawks hats for 30% off hats and beanies. Check it out. You'll be glad you did. Dylan Moses, remember him? Star linebacker for the University of Alabama. Won a couple national titles under Nick Saban, and then his NFL career has kind of just faded, if you want to put it that way. Well, the Seahawks have invited him to rookie minicamp this weekend. Obviously, he's not a rookie. He's been in the NFL, but they want to give him a look to see if there's any potential interest in bringing him to Seattle. Here's the backstory on Dylan Moses. He last played for the Jags after going undrafted in 2021. Won 2 national championships with the Crimson Tide, was a second-team All-American in 2018, but dealt with numerous injuries there, not only in Alabama, but also in his early NFL days. When we've seen Dylan Moses on the field in his college career, he was fantastic. But his availability just hasn't been there for much of his career. You can't deny the talent level, but just has not been able to be available. So they're going to bring him in and see potentially what he brings to the table. Mookie Alexander from Field Goals had this to say, and he made some very good points. Let me read this to you. The Jacksonville Jaguars signed him as a UDFA, but he never played a snap for them after spending the whole year on the non-football injury list. Jacksonville released Moses in 2022, and he's been a free agent ever since. Seattle could use linebacker depth, but this is just a tryout. And if injuries have robbed him of his full potential, then we will know the outcome of this story. And then he went on to cite some of the career highlights of his work there with the Crimson Tide. So I'll say this. I know some of you right away may be saying, wait, why are you inviting a guy that's been in the league to rookie minicamp? Doesn't that kind of take the spotlight away from the rookies that are there? And I see where you may be coming from with that argument, but hear me out on this. With Moses not having basically any NFL experience and being out of the league for as long as he had, he might as well be a rookie. It doesn't hurt to see what he's got. If the talent's there, if he's healthy, this is just an audition, just a tryout. And then you see from there if he could potentially earn a roster spot from that point going forward. To me, this is something that I think is not a bad idea for Seattle, just to see if Dylan Moses has anything to bring to the table. It doesn't hurt Seattle to do this at all. I'm excited to see what Dylan Moses brings to the table because something caught their attention. Something caught their eye because prior to Wednesday, I don't think anybody was talking about Dylan Moses at all. So you have my interest. I'm very intrigued. What do you think? After this audition, should Seattle sign Dylan Moses and see if he can earn a spot on this 53-man roster? What do you think? Dylan Moses coming to Seattle. Tell me what you think in the comment section. S for sign, P for pass. Let me know. The Seahawks schedule will be released tomorrow. We'll cover it here on the channel whenever it comes out, whether it gets leaked early or the official release. If we have to wait on that, whatever it may be, we are going to bring you a breakdown of the schedule when it happens here on the channel. But we do know this much. No matter what, the league is going to release it at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Although we don't know the dates and the times of the matchups, we do know the opponents the Seahawks will be facing in 2023. They include at home the Niners, Browns, Cardinals, Commanders, Eagles, Panthers, Steelers, and Rams. 8 home games for the Seahawks this upcoming year. Then on the road, they will be facing the 49ers, the Bengals, the Cardinals, the Cowboys, and the Giants. And they will also face the Lions, the Rams, the Ravens, and the Titans. So pretty difficult schedule. 8 home games, 9 away games. We'll find out tomorrow exactly how all these unfold. But knowing the matchups of what they are, what Seahawks game are you most excited about this season. I got to tell you, I'm very interested in those divisional games, right? Of Bobby Wagner returning to Los Angeles. The Niners, who are arguably the best team in the NFC this year. Both those games, home and away, are going to be crucial. And both rivalry games, of course. To me, that's what jumps off the page. What say you? What Seahawks game are you most excited for this upcoming season? Hit me up on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Tyler Jones Live, talking about your Seattle Seahawks there. You can hit me up, and I'll see you next time right here on Seahawks Today. All right, one segment down, 2 more to go. Got a mailbag coming up next, and then we'll talk about cut candidates for Seattle. In the meantime, though, Stars and Kraken series going on. What do you guys think? Who is going to win that series? We let you hear from producer Jeffrey Cooperstein a few days ago, and Coop was talking his trash to the Kraken on behalf of the Stars, being the Stars fan he is. You guys know I live in Dallas. I adopted the Stars as my team. They got a nice win last night, 6-3, tied up the series 2 apiece. That's been a really intriguing series. The offense has been outstanding. Who is going to win this series? Big Tex is here with me as well. Tex, what do you think? Are the Stars going to pull it off?
I freaking hope so, man. I'm not a Kraken fan, and I saw the Stars go all the way to the Stanley Cup a couple years ago. I believe the Tampa Bay Lightning is who they played.
Yeah, that was the bubble.
That was the bubble team. And I feel like this team, the ceiling's the limit, or the sky's the limit for them. Like, I think they have a high ceiling, and I think that if they can go up 3-2, I feel pretty good about them advancing with a 4-2 win in the series to continue on in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
All right, chat, let us know who's going to win the Stars and Kraken series, who you're rooting for. Don't hate me on it for being a Stars guy. I live in Dallas. I've been a lifelong Stars fan since I moved to Dallas. Let us know who you got, Stars or Kraken. I'm sure we got some passionate Kraken fans in here as well. So, yeah. We'll start with Super Chats that have come in. By the way, as you guys answer that question, a reminder with the mailbag coming up next, use the hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to be a part of the mailbag segment that we will be bringing you here in just a moment. Hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on the show. We do have a Super Chat to get to. We'll start off with that Super Chat from Eric at the beginning of the mailbag. So Eric, we'll see you here in just a second. Let's show the Super Chat menu when we get a chance to. Gino says Kraken in 7. It appears that this series is headed towards 7 games. I would think that there's a good chance that it does. Super Chat menu, this is what we're offering today. Any Super Chat gets you a shout-out. $2, you can ask me or Big Tex anything that's on your mind. $5, we sing the DK song. I've had some people hating on the DK song in here. What in the hell? We love to sing the DK song. He is worthy of the DK song. $10, we take a shot. Love to be taking some shots and enjoying ourselves and having a good time here on the channel. Every $200 that comes in collectively, we take down a boot, which is 3 beers in one. We drink as fast as humanly possible. And $100 gets you a spot in the Boot Hall of Fame. We'll do an induction for you and everything if you are so inclined to spend $100 and get on the Boot Hall of Fame here on today's show. Let's see. What else the chat's saying? Jose says ban them. Nathan says call Kraken. So Nathan's got the Kraken. Gino's got the Kraken as well. So mailbag next. K Soon Soon. You love the DK song. K Soon Soon can be a hater sometimes, but I know deep down, K Soon Soon, you love me. It's okay. You can admit it. DK song coming up next. Or not the DK song. See? I could have done that. $5 Super Chat, the DK song's coming up. There's the Super Chat menu. We're at about $17 right now. So we got work to do to get to Das Boot, but it can be done, my friends. We would love to take down Das Boot today. We'll see if we get to that point. Mailbag next. Use hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on the mailbag. Your Super Chats are priority when it comes to the mailbag. We will get to those right away. So look forward to that. Yeah, we'll start with Eric and what he had to say and then go to the others here. Also, if you think of a question while we are going through the mailbag. Whether it's a follow-up question or something comes to mind, you can still send it in while the mailbag's going on, and Tex will get to those questions as quick as we can with hashtag Seahawks or a Super Chat to get on the mailbag. So, mailbag coming up next. We'll get to that next. Tex, we all set? We good to go? Cool. All right, let's answer your questions now right here. Mailbag time here on Seahawks Today. Time for another mailbag edition of Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. You have questions. You're in luck because I have answers. Use the hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat if you want to be a part of our mailbag that is on our live shows that we do on Wednesdays. And if you subscribe to the channel, then you are going to know when we go live. Look, sometimes if the Seahawks have breaking news, then we're going to stop whatever we're doing. We're going to go live. We do these mailbags. You can be a part of the segment. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. Be a part of these mailbag shows that we do on Wednesdays. Join us then and subscribe to the channel now. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. All right, let's go ahead and begin with our first mailbag question. Comes from Eric. He says, let's go Hawks. Love our draft picks. I agree. Devin Witherspoon and Jackson Smith-Njigba highlight this draft class. And I got to tell you, I'm very excited to have both guys, the two best players at their respective positions. Devin Witherspoon, the best corner in this draft. JSN, the best wide receiver in this draft. To me, I think that it's a home run for both the offense and the defense to get players of that caliber. It's a win for Seattle. I thought they did very good in this draft, Eric. Pass says, just stopping by, brother. Can't wait for Walker year 2. Keep up the great work. Hashtag Real One. Hashtag Chat Sports. Pass, thanks for the love. Cheers to you, and I appreciate you showing some support here on the channel, Pass. Pablo says, with a $5 super chat, bang! Devin Witherspoon, Tariq Woolen. How many interceptions will they have together? Let's go Seahawks. I love my Seahawks. Well, think about this, Pablo. Tariq Woolen had 6 picks last year. Devin Witherspoon in college had, 2 or 3 there at Illinois. I think if they get anywhere between that 6 to 8 range collectively, then you'd be feeling pretty good as far as I'm concerned. I think that that's a realistic expectation for the Seahawks, that they can get somewhere in that range. But I agree. Let's go Seahawks. Love the Hawks. Thanks for the super chat, Pablo. M3TCA1FPROD says, with a $5 super chat. Thanks for that. Draymond Jones, he will make a great addition to the weak D-line, and he will pressure the QB. I love the addition of Draymond Jones. Draymond Jones is going to be fantastic. He's going to bring a presence that's much needed to this front seven, this pass rush. Watch out. Draymond Jones is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be exciting to have him in Seattle and to see what he does. I think he was a great pickup. Thanks for that, my guy. Another super chat, $10 super chat coming in from Eric. He writes DK song. So if you haven't been a part of our live shows, then here is your chance to hear the DK song for yourself if you've never heard it before. Big Tex is here. I'll have him sing with me, and we will sing about this together. Here we go. A 1, 2, 3. Chomping, carols chomping, Gino passes, no one's stopping DK. Touchdowns all day. He rules. Let me know in the comment section, what is that song based off of? It's a Jeremy Chuggs original around here. Thank you, Eric, for that $10 super chat. Isaac writes, are we the third best team in the NFC? Isaac, great question. So let's break it down for you, okay? You look at the NFC, I think the Eagles and the Niners are your top 2 teams in the conference. But then after that, the door is kind of wide open. I mean, you got to talk about the Cowboys, the Giants, Seattle, of course, the Vikings, the Lions, kind of all within the equation there. I think you could make a strong case for the Seahawks being in that upper tier, being one of those top 3 or 4 teams in the conference. I think that's certainly possible, Isaac. Thanks for the question there. Appreciate you sending that in. 12th man writes, should the Seahawks trade for Patrick Queen? Let me tell you about Patrick Queen. I would happen to know a lot about Patrick Queen. And Patrick Queen is a guy that in his 3 years in the National Football League has greatly underachieved, underperformed. And at the beginning of last year, Ravens fans were very upset with Patrick Queen that he wasn't playing to their expectations, to what they had hoped to see out of Patrick Queen. And for the value of being a first-round pick, he hasn't been that guy. Now, Eric DeCosta says they plan on keeping him around in Baltimore, that they see him as a Pro Bowl linebacker. But the truth of the matter is, he's not a Pro Bowl linebacker. Has Patrick Queen been in a Pro Bowl? The answer is no. Patrick Queen's a good player, but he's not a great player. And I think that the Ravens are not going to let him go easy. I'm kind of out on the idea of Patrick Queen. I've been disappointed in Patrick Queen for what the hype train was supposed to be for Patrick Queen. So, no, I don't think the Seahawks should trade for Patrick Queen. What do you think? Should the Seahawks trade for Patrick Queen? I think he's going to be back in Baltimore anyway. But if he's on the trade block or a trade option, should the Seahawks make a move? Y for yes, in for no. Tell me in the comment section what you think. Matthew writes in, what are some of the best free agents still available? I also think Chase Young might end up a free agent. Our needs are still offensive guard and center. I don't see that happening. I don't think the Commanders are going to be just letting go of Chase Young and making him an unrestricted free agent. Don't see that happening, but Matthew, thanks for the comment anyway. As far as some of the best guys still available in the free agent market, really depends on what you're looking for. I mean, there's a lot of good edge rushers. The types of like Yannick Ngakoue is still around. Melvin Ingram is still there. There's a number of good edge rushers in that group. Frank Clark, of course, former Seahawk, is still there. Justin Houston is still around. I mean, you look at the wide receiver position. Jarvis Landry is there. Running back, you got Ezekiel Elliott is there. There's some decent options of some players still sitting around. The Seahawks, I know there's been questions about the offensive guard spot. And Dalton Reisner, formerly of the Denver Broncos, is still hanging around there as well. So we'll see. But those are just some of the notable players that are sitting out there in free agency at this point in time. Thanks, Matthew. Tom says, where do you think DJ Dallas lands in the depth chart after the draft and the UDFAs? Well, if you're the family of DJ Dallas, I have bad news for you and hope you're not watching right now. Because it's not looking good for DJ Dallas. Let's put it that way. Zach Charbonnet is expected to be the number 2 back behind Kenneth Walker and probably get a decent number of touches. Then the number 3 spot, okay, DJ Dallas or Kenny McIntosh? Well, Kenny McIntosh is better than what DJ Dallas' strength is. DJ Dallas, of course, is a very good pass catcher out of the backfield and can be a third down back, and, that's where he gets paid, right? Well, in his case, I think Kenny McIntosh is going to be better than him at what he does best. So, for me, I think it's not good news for DJ Dallas. I think it's 3rd or 4th, and he's just hoping to make the roster at this point. But it's not looking great for his prospects. Before the draft looked like a golden opportunity to be the number 2 back. Now he's just hoping to make the team at this point. Seattle Superfan, all right? Should the Seahawks trade for Kenneth Murray? I've been a big fan of Kenneth Murray dating back to his days with Big Texas' favorite team, the Oklahoma Sooners. And if you recall, folks, when Kenneth Murray was at OU, they had a historically bad defense. Kyler Murray was there on offense and won a Heisman Trophy at Baker Mayfield the year before that. And those offenses were incredible, and the defenses were bad. The only one silver lining about Kenneth Murray, or about the defenses those years, was Kenneth Murray. He was arguably the best linebacker in college football the years he was at OU. He's come to the NFL. He looks the part. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. I think he is going to be a lot cheaper than Patrick Queen potentially when it comes to getting a deal done. If you want Kenneth Murray, I think you can probably get him at a much lower cost than you probably could Patrick Queen. So I am open to that possibility. I don't think it makes too much sense for Patrick Queen. I think the asking price is going to be too high. I think Kenneth Murray might make a little more sense as far as that goes. Should the Seahawks trade for Kenneth Murray? What do you think? T for trade, P for pass. Let us know what you think about the idea of Kenneth Murray. Type T for trade, P for pass. Let us know. Gino writes, what's your prediction of our record will be this season? Ha-ha! Gino, I have that for you. Not at this moment, okay? We'll do record predictions videos and all that on the channel. Be looking for that. But let me see the opponents and the matchups. At the time we're recording this on Wednesday, the official schedule's not out yet. So I'm not going to jump there yet, but I do think the Seahawks will be winning at least 10 or 11 games. I think that's very fair. I'll have more on that later. Stay tuned. K-Soon Soon says top 3 players in the undrafted free agents. K-Soon Soon, I don't know necessarily what my top 3 would be, but I would say that the number 1 for me would be Jake Bobo. Jake Bobo, who they brought in from the University of California, Los Angeles, was, I think, a very good find. He's not the fastest guy, but he's a huge guy and could be a good red zone threat. That would be the guy I'm looking for. We'll see. But I would start there with Jake Bobo and then go from there. Last one from David says, awesome job, Tyler. Well, David, thank you. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the super chat. Showing us some support here on Seahawks Today. We do this for the 12s. We do this for you guys. You are the absolute best. Thanks for sending in that, a super chat, and being a part of the show here. All right, quick question before we wrap up today. Name a player the Seahawks should add this offseason, whether it's through free agency, trade, whatever it may be. Tell us in the comments section. We'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today. All right, so 2 segments down. We have 1 to go. Cut candidates. Okay, so here's one for you. This is for Big Tex. Tex, put yourself on screen here. So Tom Anderson says, how does one stay alive in Texas as a Sooners fan? Tex, tell us, what is it like, Big Tex, to be an Oklahoma Sooners fan in Texas?
Y'all couldn't hear it, but I was in Teacher's ear whenever he mentioned that being my favorite team. If it's not obvious by the name Big Tex, I did not go to OU, nor have I ever been a fan of the Sooners. We actually have a Sooners guy here, producer Sam Brown. He is a Oklahoma Sooners alum, I should say. I went to Texas, Hook 'em. I studied film there, so definitely not an OU kind of guy. I know Tyler likes to mess with me on that. He's more of a, OU guy. Right, you're from Oklahoma, right?
So I'm from Oklahoma. Okay. My mom went to the University of Oklahoma. I grew up a Sooner fan. Now, I went to Kansas, and I'm a Jayhawk, but I still have much respect for the Sooners. And I root for the Sooners when they're not playing Kansas. So, yes, I would root for Oklahoma any day over UT. Horns down. There we go.
There it is.
And I'm not going to be singing The Eyes of Texas around here.
I don't blame you. I'm not a fan of the song. So unfortunately, it's a part of it.
Eric says, LOL, old reference to the Huskies versus Sooners Rose Bowl. They didn't play the Huskies. They played Washington State that year. Oklahoma won that game. Nate Hibble was the Rose Bowl MVP. Let's see. K-Soon Soon says, appreciate all the effort, Tyler. Voice lessons. Are you asking for voice lessons? I don't take voice lessons, but thanks for the love here. Niners all day. Do they still sing the DK song here? Hey, we love the DK song. Always do. The DK song's a blast. Today is National Washington Day. The state of Washington. What do you love most about the state of Washington? I love the state of Washington's fantastic. One of the most beautiful states in the country. I mean, your answer could be the Seattle Seahawks. It could be, the very nice scenic views. Mount St. Helens is incredible. You remember the volcano eruption there? That was insane. Is anyone in the chat right now, were they around when that happened? That was unbelievable. Matthew's got some good answers. He says, no state income tax and great weed.
What's not to love?
Matthew says, beautiful wildlife and geography. Jose, this is a good answer for you, Tex. He says, open carry. Let's see. Aaron says, big mountains and great weed. Jose, for now. Eric Cotter says, 1985 Huskers versus Sooners. Read it. Adriano says, all the green. I'm noticing a common theme here of why people like the state of Washington.
It's one kind of green. It's either the nature green or the other kind of green. Both equally fine, in my opinion.
K. Soon was there for Mount St. Helens.
Damn, how old are you, man? That shit happened in like the 80s. It's like 1985?
We've even got the Niners fan in here showing some love to the state of Washington. Good weed is always key. Let me pull up my Manscaped stuff here, and then we can start this segment. Nick says the Seattle Kraken is the answer. Go Stars. We're talking cut candidates next, but the state of Washington is a fantastic place. Happy Washington Day. I'm very curious. Nathan says go Huskies. Lonnie says Seattle, baby, the water and the golf. I got another answer for you. What I love in the state of Washington. This is not an advertisement. I'm just being honest here. For all my 12s out there, my favorite thing about the state of Washington might be Ivar's clam chowder. That is so incredible. It's so good it'll make your tongue slap your brains out. If you haven't had, I saw your eyes pop up there. If you haven't had Ivar's clam chowder, it will blow your mind. I love me some clam chowder. Ivar's has some of the best clam chowder in the world. I wish I could eat some clam chowder right now. Only easy, pal. 1980. So that was 43 years ago.
Only? Bruh, 43 years is almost half a century.
Where are my folks out there that love Ivar's clam chowder? I want to hear from the folks. There we go. Eric says Ivar's is amazing. Matthew says Ivar's is great. I could really go for some Ivar's clam chowder right now. All right, I have my Manscaped read. Let's show that. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, show the Super Chat menu if you would. Let's see. Nathan says the Seahawks add to a very beautiful state. Let's see. I'm glad that we can all agree that, what's brought this chat together today, because you guys, I'll be honest here, the chat today has been kind of a little antsy, back and forth, a little on their toes, a little animosity in the chat today. We all agree on Ivar's clam chowder and the green stuff, apparently. Everybody's on the same page there. Eric, I like this. When I had it first as a child, Ivar's clam chowder changed my life. It changed my life too. It might be my favorite thing about Washington. They need to expand. We need Ivar's clam chowder everywhere. Everybody should enjoy Ivar's clam chowder.
Hey, we don't need a new co-host.
No, Tex is doing a great job.
I'm just messing with you, man.
We love big Tex around here.
Yeah, St. Helens is cool, man. I'm glad that you were alive to experience that. I wish
Lonnie
I was.
says the Mariners, baby. That's a good answer. We are at around $29 in Super Chats right now. Any Super Chat gets a shout-out. $2, you can ask us anything. $5 will sing the DK song. $10 will take a shot. I still owe a shot, by the way, for that $10 Super Chat that came in. So I will pay that off right now, and then we will get to cut candidates. Adriano says Washington is obsessed with their sports teams, and I think it's beautiful. So here's a little pro tip for the folks out there. Here's what you do. Somebody mentioned about the state of Washington not having income tax. I'm very curious if we have anybody in the chat that's done this before. Here's what you do, folks. You live in the very beautiful city of Vancouver, Washington, which is within the Portland metro. It's right on the Oregon-Washington border. Columbia River and all that, just beautiful there in Vancouver. You live in Vancouver, you don't pay your income tax, and you do all your shopping on the Oregon side in Portland, and you don't pay sales tax in Oregon, then all of a sudden, you're not paying very much in taxes. There's a pro tip. I'm very curious if anybody's done that in this chat as we take a cheers. You came here for Seahawks football talk, and you got tax advice, too. That's what I'm here for. Cheers. All right. On that note, cut candidates coming up next. I have 5 players. And let me preface this before we get started here, okay, when it comes to cut candidates. We're classifying this as cut/restructure. There's some guys that we have on this that we're talking about that we're saying you don't need to necessarily cut, but you need to make the money work for you, like Dave Ramsey would say, and maybe not pay them as much or push that money, kick the can down the road or something. Okay. How about this? People are confirming my theory. Eric says 2 things you can depend on, football and taxes. Yes. Don't get your taxes done. Get your taxes won. Although tax day just finished, about a month ago now? Something like that. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. Our final segment here on Seahawks Day Live, we're talking cut, and we're also talking about restructuring coming up next here on Seahawks Today. It is Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Today's show is presented by our friends at Manscaped. You can get 20% off at checkout at manscaped.com with the promo code Seahawks. You'll also get free shipping as well when you use the promo code. We'll tell you more about what Manscaped is doing coming up later on in the show. Today's edition of Seahawks Today, we are focusing on cut candidates. Who could the Seahawks potentially move on from? We'll also be looking at restructure options as well. Maybe you don't necessarily want to get rid of a guy, but you need to make your money work for you, as Dave Ramsey would say. And so we'll see what the Seahawks can do to kind of adjust their books a little bit, kind of cook the books. We'll get to that here in just a moment. Before we do, a little survey as we get the show started. If you've been a Seahawks fan for 5 years or more, go ahead and like today's video. If you have not, if you've been a Seahawks fan for less than that, maybe you're not even a Seahawks fan at all, comment and tell me how long you've been a Seahawks fan or why you're not a Seahawks fan, whatever it may be. Just a little survey out there, and we'll get going to begin today's show. So I have 5 names that we are going to get to today on the cut and the restructure possibilities for the Seattle Seahawks. And where we will begin today, this one's going to be a little eye-popping. I probably got you to click on the video with this one, which was my job, so don't crush me for that. But hear me out on this. Quandre Diggs. I'm not saying cut him, though. I'm saying restructure Quandre Diggs. Look, Quandre is still one of the best safeties in the National Football League. He's playing at a high level. The Seahawks have one of the best safety rooms in the entire NFL with Quandre Diggs on one side. Jamal Adams is there. Julian Love, part of the equation now. But even with that said, the money doesn't look too great in Quandre Diggs' situation. Listen to this. Quandre Diggs is owed $13.49 million this upcoming season. $18.1 million goes against the cap. That's a lot of money for Quandre Diggs. Whatever you can do. I think I want Quandre around for a while. I'm willing to give him an extension and kind of sort out that money of sorts to make sure that he could be here for a long time, and so you also don't have to count $18 million towards the cap as far as I'm concerned, because that is just a lot of moolah there. I think it needs some adjusting. You want Quandre, but you don't want to take an $18 million cap hit. You can have, as Hannah Montana would say, the best of both worlds. More names to get to here in just a second. Before we do, summer's coming. Summer Jones is almost here, right? Are you ready to unveil your beach pod? Manscaped is here to ensure your body is ready for the wild with their game-changing full-body grooming and hygiene products. Don't be the guy at the beach with Austin Powers chest hair if you grew some winter man tits. The least you can do is make sure they're hairless. It's time to get ready for hot guy summer by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code Seahawks. Now, you may be wondering, what are we offering this go-around? Well, that's where I come in. Manscaped is dedicated to helping you increase your confidence and level up your full body grooming game with the Performance Package 4.0. The kit comes with the essential Lawnmower 4.0. We also have the Crop Preserver. We also have the Crop Reviver, as well as the Weed Whacker 2.0, and more. These tools are incredible, so you can start looking better and clean up where you need to be cleaned up. That way you can be looking your best come summertime. Because summertime, folks, is a time to thrive. Do it with Manscaped. Get 20% off plus free shipping with code Seahawks at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping. Code Manscaped at manscaped.com. Trim your chesties with the besties at manscaped.com. Promo code Seahawks for more. All right, so we mentioned Quandre Diggs there. Now let's talk about Brian Mone at the nose tackle position. Now, Brian Mone, it's been unfortunate for him, right? Suffered a torn ACL injury in Week 15. The last update that we got about his situation was that his surgery was difficult. I don't know what that means of if he is going to be back when the season begins or how his recovery time is going, but that's not what I want to hear. If you move on from him, you can save over $3 million against the cap potentially. You've already drafted Cam Young out of Mississippi State as well in the 4th round. You might have your replacement there potentially in Cameron Young with that selection. So, Brian Mone, one of those deals is not personal, but it might just be business here. If you're not going to play, do you want to pay him and have that 3.18 count against the cap? I don't know necessarily. And even if he does play, is he going to look like the same guy he did previously with coming off that ACL injury? A lot of questions. Name a player the Seahawks should cut. Now's your chance to be a little difficult here. Put on your GM hat. Let me know, who should the Seahawks move on from? Tell us in the comment section below. Next up on our list, that's where we find Will Dissly at the tight end position. And kind of like we talked about with Quandre Diggs, this might be more of a restructure when it comes to Will Dissly. But the truth of the matter is, where the Seahawks are at, they're not going to pay Noah Fant and Will Dissly. And both those guys, their contracts come up in the next couple of years. So you're going to have decisions to make because you're going to want to upgrade that position. Maybe you compromise with Will Dissly and say, hey, look, you're owed $5.6 million. You got nearly $12 million going against the cap here. Can we adjust that money where, hey, we're willing to go ahead and keep you, but you got to take less money or we got to push some money back to later on down the line here? Because Will Dissly, although he's a good tight end, he's not a great tight end. I think we can all say, and this is not disrespectful, we're just being fair, Will Dissly's not worth $12 million against the cap. He's worth keeping around, but you got to adjust that money a bit. That's too much of a penalty for the Seahawks to be taking on as far as that goes. So, there's Will Dissly. Got 2 more names to get to. Let's talk D. Eskridge now. And this one, here's where it's hard, I think, for for Seahawk fans with the D. Eskridge front is he hasn't been here that long. And yet there's not really a whole lot to show for it when it comes to D. Eskridge. Just 2021, he was a second-round pick. But with the injuries he's dealt with other guys stepping up on the depth charts, he's never even started a game at receiver for the Seahawks. He's never been a starting receiver. Now, he doesn't cost you that much. Owed $1.2 million this upcoming year. Cap hit $1.62 million. Cap savings of $1.2 million. I mean, are you better served with somebody else holding that roster spot than D. Eskridge? I mean, camp hasn't even started yet. We already know he's behind Jackson Smith and Jigba. That JSN's going to be your number 3 receiver. D had every opportunity to be that number 3 guy, could never step up. The injury issues just hasn't really been the guy he was built up to be. Are you better served giving that roster spot to somebody else? That's a realistic question the Seahawks could be asking themselves. The contract situation's not bad, but are you better off using that roster spot with somebody else out there? That's a question the Seahawks have to ask themselves. Name a player the Seahawks should keep. Who is somebody that we've talked about today that you think, okay, maybe, you know what, the Seahawks actually should keep that guy around? Tell me what you think. Who is somebody the Seahawks should keep? Let us know in the comment section below. One more name to get to. That is Alton Robinson at the outside linebacker position. Now, Alton Robinson, I think there was a lot of optimism about him at one point in time. But now, look at where the Seahawks are at. They're not needing Alton Robinson. I mean, he has continued to slide down the depth chart at this point. Did not play at all last year with a knee injury. He's now a third-string outside linebacker for Seattle in the scheme they're playing. He's only started 3 games. The money situation, kind of like what we talked about with D. Eskridge, doesn't cost you a whole lot. He's owed just $1.01 million this season. Cap savings is the same number. It's not a matter of if you can afford him or not. It's a matter of, are you better served, are you better off using that roster spot in somebody else? And based on the sample size that they've seen and the lack of availability without Alton Robinson, it might be worth just saying, you know what, cut your losses and move on with Alton Robinson. I'm seeing one of the commenters already saying, I kind of forgot about Alton Robinson already. I understand why you have. So there you have it. Those are our names that we have for you on our possible cut and restructures. Quandre Diggs, Brian Monet, Will Dissly, D. Eskridge, and Alton Robinson. What do you guys think as far as those guys go? Of those potential options of the Seahawks moving on from those 5 guys or restructuring, whatever they may. Very curious what you guys think. How would you grade the Seahawks roster at this point? I think it's pretty good. I'm very excited about 2023, if you couldn't already tell. Grade it for me in the comment section. A, B, C, D, or F. What do you think of the Seahawks roster heading into 2023? Let me know. Hit me up on social media, the Twitter, as well as Instagram, Facebook, at Tyler Jones Live. You can find me there. I shall see you next time, right here on Seahawks Today. All right. So, how would you grade the roster? AFX Apocalypse says, why not Jamal Adams? I knew that was going to come up, that somebody was going to mention Jamal Adams. And usually what happens when somebody says Jamal Adams, they don't know the full story with Jamal Adams. So let me tell you a story about Jamal Adams. He is worth about $20+ million against the cap. Jamal Adams is no idiot. He's not taking a pay cut. Why? And nobody's trading for him at that price either. You may want to restructure him. You may want to cut him, move on from him. Doesn't do you any good. None whatsoever. He's not taking a pay cut. And if I were him, I wouldn't either. I'd take, they paid him all that money. He's going to take it. So, gosh. So that's the answer on that as far as Jamal Adams goes. Grading the Seahawks roster there. What do you guys think? Let's see. K-Soon already knows. Yes, thanks for glad you know that idea. What else? What's everybody else saying here? I saw D. Eskridge, people were demanding the Seahawks move on from. Disley cut. Okay. Very good. No, we don't need Jared Stidham. Jared Stidham, Baylor legend. Yeah. Oh. Tyson says A- for the Seahawks roster. Get your grades in. What do you guys think? How would you grade the Seahawks roster at this point? Joseph Smith, stop that. Get that out of here. Go back to the Mormon church. No. AXUB, B+. Eric says, is that Coors Light? Yes, it is.
Are the mountains blue?
The mountains kind of got
Gray.
a little gray, but
Brutal.
nonetheless, we're still drinking. Yeah, I didn't drink Bud Light today. I did choose Coors Light, though. K Soon Soon says A-. Kaylee says B+. Joseph says BQ. I don't know what that means. B+. Okay. Let's see. B+ seems to be the consensus. Okay. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow, Tex, you and I are going to be on our toes waiting for that Seahawks roster to get schedule. We are hoping if you are somebody within the Seahawks organization and you have access to it ahead of time, please send it my way. Link it. Please link it. If it gets leaked, we will get you a video as quickly as we can tomorrow. If it doesn't, then it doesn't, and we'll do a schedule video when everyone else does. But in the meantime, subscribe to the channel. Sublink is in the chat right now. Subscribe for free. Turn on notifications. We got a big day tomorrow. Whenever we know the schedule, we will get that to you coming up on tomorrow's show here on Seahawks Today. I'm hearing, Tex, we might even go live potentially tomorrow. Potentially speaking. We might go live tomorrow. No guarantees, but it could happen. Let's show the Super Chat menu one more time. Eric says, thank you, guys. No, thank you, Eric. Thanks for the love. All right, I'm going to put a minute on the clock. If we get a Super Chat the next minute, we stay live. We keep the show going. We can talk about whatever you guys want. If not, we'll sign off and call it a day. But let us know what you think. 1 minute on the clock. Any Super Chat, we stay live. Otherwise, we sign off. Up to you guys. We can keep this thing going. Sajin, we had to make sure people subscribe. We want to grow the channel, Sajin. So we can have more Seahawks fans be a part of this. No, we're not. Get that Stetson Bennett talk out of here. How dare you? How dare you? 20 seconds on the clock. If we get a Super Chat, we stay live. Otherwise, we'll sign off and call it a day here on Seahawks Day. Tex, good times today. No doubt about it, right?
We had a great time here with the 12s.
Always. Always a pleasure. And Texer's going to be around a little more often here. So we'll see some more Tex flexes, right?
That's right. I feel like I've kind of taken over for Chugs. He's more focused on Steelers with Jack Sperry. $2 Super Chat.
Eric says stay. Okay. Eric keeps the show alive. $2 Super Chat. Ask Us Anything says, LOL, stay evil. Tex, since you've been hanging out with us more and people get to know you and everything, go ahead and put yourself on screen. So Big Tex here. Big Tex, great guy, one of our newer employees here at Chat Sports. You've seen him from time to time on the channel. He's going to be around more often here. And Texer, in case people didn't know, you're also like a personal trainer.
I was.
You take the gym very hardcore. Like, 4 hours a day, you know? I mean, like.
Yeah, like two now. I had to reduce it a little bit.
Only 2 hours in the gym a day.
Only two.
Used
to
two.
be more.
Tex, in case people haven't seen before, give them the Tex flex.
Y'all want the Tex flex? I got you.
Here's the Tex flex. Oh, bang!
Bang! Almost passed out doing that.
That's incredible.
Thank you. I work hard for it.
Tex, K-Soon says Tex is too young. We're not cutting Tex.
Nah,
Sorry.
I'm 24.
How old are you, Tex? You're
I'm
24?
I'm not that young.
I remember when I was 24.
You're 25, Tyler. It's
I'm
last
20.
year.
I'm turned 27 this month.
Sheesh, you're getting old, teacher.
What are you guys gonna throw a birthday party for me later this month? Are we gonna get wild here on the channel?
Yes.
For my birthday. I turn 27 on the 29th. My Seahawks Today birthday party. That could be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be a good time.
AFX Apocalypse wants to know if you can work on his torn labrum.
Wait, aren't you in high school? What did you do in high school to tear your labrum? Are you like some athlete? Like, are you a pitcher in baseball? I'm trying to figure out how you tore your labrum in high school.
Kaylee says, Tex was cute. Then I saw how pale he is.
Hey,
You need to
it's
tan.
the lighting. It's the lighting. Teacher can attest, the producer cams, not as fancy. It's a webcam built into a laptop. Teacher's over there with like a 1080p Canon full camera. If I go over there,
I always keep a tan. I'm Native American, so I tan easy.
Sorry, I'm European. I'm pasty. My bad. $10.
Eric says, let's get the Big Tex and Tyler workout.
Hell yeah.
Have you worked out today already?
I have not.
What are you going to do tonight at the gym?
I think I'm going to do legs.
Legs?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I fucking hate legs, but you got to do it. Can't skip leg day.
Can't skip leg day.
Can't skip leg day. 3 leg days a week, or you're pussy.
Ooh, okay.
Or you just don't like doing legs.
Saijan with a $10 super chat. We are making some freaking noise this season. That's the attitude I like to hear, Saijan.
What's Texas
some
cap
noise.
hit? Lower than the Seahawks, that's for sure.
All right, so I'll take this shot. This is for the 12s.
AFX answered me. Football. Did something then, went into powerlifting with it, benching 250. God dang. 250 in high school, bro? Impressive.
So we're at $41 now.
Hell yeah.
We are about 160 away from Des Boots. Not impossible, but we could do it. Kaylee says native pride. Kaylee, are you native too? That's cool. I'm Choctaw.
Nice.
Myself.
K-Soon said leg day, pay the iron price. A little Game of Thrones reference there.
You a Game of Thrones guy?
Oh, dude. I've seen Game of Thrones like 12 times over fully. Like,
really?
Yeah. Love Game of Thrones. I could
Well, you're a big film guy too.
Yeah. I studied radio, television, film at UT Austin, so love film, great series. Love that reference, K-Soon. Leg day, you pay the iron price. That's right. It freaking sucks, but it's important to do legs. Don't skip your legs. Hey, 12s, don't skip leg day.
All right.
Teacher and I say it.
I'm putting another minute on the clock. We get a super chat, we stay on.
More supers. You know
Otherwise, we'll sign off and call it a day. But leg day, very important. So today you're doing legs. What does leg day consist of for you?
Squats usually to start.
Okay.
Do standing and seat calf raises. I do leg extensions, laying down leg curls or lying leg curls, if you will. Like to do walking lunges a lot of times. Good mornings. You know what a good morning is?
I do not.
It's like almost like you're bowing to someone.
Kaylee
with your
says
back.
you're the king of the north.
Hey, the king of the north. I love that show. I could reference that show a million times over, never get tired of it. I love the Game of Thrones references.
Because you're.
No one believes it. I can actually tan pretty decently well. I'm just working all the time and trying to make this company money, you know? That's an inside joke at Chat Sports.
Oh.
Tyler laughed at it.
I got what he was saying.
He got it.
I got what you were putting
He got
down.
it. Leg press, yeah. I do like leg press. Have you ever tried it? Vertical leg press. It's a rare machine in gyms, but try the vertical leg press if you ever get the chance.
Pacific Northwest, it's 420 in Washington. Happy Washington Day, 420. Great time in Washington right now.
Blaze it up in the legal state.
Cody is a native too. That's awesome. In the Colwitz tribe. I'm part of the Choctaw tribe myself. Very cool.
Choctaw Nation.
Nice tribe, says Eric. Yeah. Very nice. Thanks for the love there. All right. So we got to sign off. We'll give it a minute in case. You know, sometimes it takes YouTube a minute to process. But if we don't get a super chat, then we're signing off and calling it a day. But tomorrow, Tex, we will have full coverage of the schedule release.
Indeed.
If it happens at 1 o'clock, the schedule gets leaked, we do a video and we get it to you right away.
Indeed.
If it's not till when the schedule comes out with the rest of them, then we get to that video then. So stay tuned in the channel. Show the subscribe thing for you.
Oh, yeah.
Subscribe. This is as important of a time as ever to subscribe because whenever it comes out, if you're connected to the channel, you're going to know right away as far as that goes. Here's the sub link. It's in the chat right now. Subscribe and join us tomorrow. We'll have you covered.
Join the 12s. Don't miss out.
Join us then. He's Big Tex. I'm Tyler Jones. Have a great night. Thanks for being here on Seahawks Today Live. We will see you tomorrow. Schedule release day. Looking forward to it. Have a great rest of your night. Thanks for being here.